Bless up, Facebook family. It's Karen again with Naturally with Karen. Thank you for all of the new subscribers. I really appreciate what you're doing and helping me to bring this medicine. I'm 57 and I'll be 58 next Thursday on July the 18th. I hope that you can hear me and see me okay. This particular live stream is about the youth, okay? I have a carload full of clothing and blankets and shoes that I just picked up, bless up sis, from Laura at 726 Laurel Street in Cloquet, Minnesota. And I'm going to drive them about a half an hour up north to Duluth and take them to Chum and Damiano. Now, in the last 2.5 years in particular, I've had an incredibly opening, expanding experience about what's going on with the youth. So I'm going to make this a really short live stream because I want to get out there and hook up with Devin and Naya, Zawa, and several other people that are down in Canal Park today. It's gorgeous. So what's happening with our youth? When I was speaking with Laura at her yard sale, I was looking for a backpack for someone. And it was the fourth yard sale I'd gone to. I went to Walmart. They were $26. And I thought, no, I'm not going to spend that for just kind of like a casual backpack. I'm going to look for a better deal and be really wise with my money. So I stopped at this last yard sale up off Big Lake Road, which if anyone knows is on the Fond du Lac Reservation in Cloquet. And I started speaking with her, and she was talking about how she knows several people that are also addicted. We usually call them homeless, but since our heart is our home, I'm going to refer to this as being houseless, just like Lisa does out in San Francisco, my birthplace, in San Francisco, California, because we always have a home, but we may not have a house. We might not have a sticks and bricks shelter, a home like I'm living in right now that's made out of sticks and bricks or stucco exteriors, sidings and things like that. So let's get into it. Many of the youth are multi-generationally degenerated. That's a lot of big words. That just means mom and dad consistently, generation after generation after generation, became more and more degenerated or depleted, okay? So if you take what the original human was, which was a nice darkly pigmented body, pigment is minerals, okay? This is what I teach a lot of the youth. Pigment is minerals. More pigment, more minerals, okay? So I have less pigment and I have less minerals in my skin, perhaps in my organs. I'll let you be the judge of that, or you be the deciding factor for yourself. But I know I have my mind pretty much made up about several things and still very open about others. So on many generations, moms especially, but also dads, male and female, come together and they procreate and they make a baby, right? And if the baby doesn't have everything that it needs, then it's going to have weakness earlier in the expression of its life, okay? So in my case, I prepared my womb in 1993, gave birth to my son in 1995, did everything ideal, but I missed a few key pieces. And I learned about those last key pieces, some of it a very hard way, over the last 24 years, helping hundreds and hundreds of other women who came into my shop or I met with through a video conference. I'm watching my neighbor walk out her porch. And excuse me, let me take a sip of my watermelon Irish moss that I just made to go out the door with me. This is just a $5.99 seeded, not seedless, watermelon from Aldi's and my Irish moss cubes. Okay, you can tell by the way I scrunch and I have lines on my forehead that I've got a multi-generational thyroid issue. And I had ridges on my fingernails, which I'm healing again now, okay? So they're healing because they got out of, I got out of balance very severely for over a year, so cut off my dreadlocks. So now, if mom had a lot of dental work, if mom already had an existing thyroid issue, and a lot of moms didn't know they had a thyroid issue. Why? Because they relied upon the doctor's blood test only. So the blood test said, nope, you don't have a thyroid problem. Mom's like, I don't have a thyroid problem. But mom did have a thyroid problem. I just talked with Laura, and I talk with someone every single day for the last 10 to 15 years. And I say, you do have a thyroid problem, and let me show you why. But instead of seeing it as a disease or a syndrome or all of your symptoms or something you got to rush out and medically attend to, start seeing it as something that you can detox and heal, which is why I wrote my book. I'm looking for the book. It's in my mess here. I'm reorganizing an entire room to be my office. Used to be a room for someone else. You didn't have what you needed. So in my book that you could be downloading right now at naturallywithkaren.com, it'll take you through step by step exactly the foods to avoid. Way too much to go into in one live stream, okay? The foods to avoid, how to put together the plan for yourself, the supplements to take, what you need to know about iodine and when you need to start it, how much of it you probably should or shouldn't be taking, and who's a right candidate. In other words, most people don't have a thyroid issue because they had a massive head injury and it knocked out their pituitary gland. That is a very small segment of the population, but the majority of you have a slow thyroid gland because your mom had a slow thyroid gland, because you got exposed to too much radiation, because you ate the wrong foods, because you're toxic, because you're smoking, and because you're hurting your throat. So instead of making it a medical issue, make it an issue that you take your power back. Just like I don't call this a wife beater, I call this a white tank. Okay, it's a white tank top or it's a white shirt, but I don't call it a wife beater. Okay, it's just a men's super cheapy. I got them at a sale, 3-pack for $1 somewhere, and it's warm outside. I don't really like to always wear a bra. So it is what it is. I think I'm a pretty hip, almost 58-year-old, and I can stay strong, even though I don't have perfect teeth, even though I'm not a perfect person, but I'm regrowing my hair, and I'm going to show you how to do all these things in a non-gimmick way. You don't have to, these organizations that are out there that want to charge you for meditation and charge you for all these bottles of adrenal support and thyroid relief. Come on, man. Break it down to the basics. That's what I did. I had to learn through the trenches, meaning I worked with people hands-on when I was tired, when I was beat down, when I didn't make money. When I wasn't in California, when I'd gone to Northeast Minnesota, that was really, really brutal on someone who lived 42 years out in the Bay Area. Someone who came from a real Santa Cruz in the old day mentality, keep Santa Cruz weird and very, very eccentric. You're a jewel. You're not just rigid, you know? So that's the other point. Youth have become more rigid. They're much more left-brained. I look in the mouth and I ask them, open your mouth for me. And almost every one of them have a thick or, a wide, fat tongue. It's usually white-coated, so they're not digesting very well. And all of these things can be fixed for less than $20 by clicking Detox and Heal Your Thyroid at Naturally with Karen and opening it up on your computer screen and reading 3 or 4 pages, 5 pages in a chapter once a day, just a little bit. Get yourself, where's the composition book that Kim knows that I always recommend? I just got more of them. Oh, here they are. Here's one. Let me show you here. Hang on. Okay. Here's another fun one. It's got kind of like these little Hawaiian designs on it. These are $1 at Dollar Tree. They're called composition notebooks, and they have lots of room. I fill them all up with my notes, and I've got my magazines with articles, and I intend to live stream about. So what I need from you is I can't take this outside, my cheapy phone here. I can't take it outside and live stream for you and get you really a good dose of me in nature, meaning I'm going to give you medicine at almost 58 years old here next week. All I want for my Earth Strong is 1,000 subscribers, July the 18th or sometime in July, sometime in August even, would really, really make me feel happy. And I know you guys are doing it because every day I jump on there and there's a couple more and a couple more and a couple more. But here's the deal. Our youth start with anxiety from the time that they're about 5 and 6 years old today. They're being diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder even under the age of 10, which used to be considered absolutely unethical to do that. You just never made a psychological diagnosis. Today we're doing it. Okay? Whoa. Now we're going into depression. We're going into depression because you have a toxic mind and a toxic body. Get over to my YouTube channel like you are here and watch my 5 or 6 segments. They're all divided, called Toxic Brain, because you have a toxic brain for a reason. There are chemicals in the injections that you call immunizations or vaccines. Whether you're pro-vaccine or you're anti-vaccine, I'm very much anti-vaccine. I haven't had any for many years, and I don't intend on having any. There's aluminum and formaldehyde in thimerosal. Thimerosal is a mercury derivative. Mercury shuts down your thyroid. I'm going to go back tonight when I get home after I go take this stuff before they close. And I'm going to put some tags, which Kim, you need to do that in your video too. If you're not doing that, you got to go into your creator studio, the beta studio, pull up your video and then put the tags in there. Just type a word and click enter. Type a word like hair test, enter, HTMA, enter. And put your tags in there so that when people are searching for things, they can find it. Okay, so I'm going to go back in there and put it in there that you need to have a hair test. Before you say a hair test, oh my God, that sounds really super Quack Watch. You can go to Quack Watch and you can look it up, and Quack Watch will tell you that, yeah, I mean, come on, this stuff is just not right. But then I'm going to ask you to go where the actual allopathic doctors go, which is called PubMed. And PubMed is the authority that all doctors go to double check for, double-blind empirical studied work, credentialed studied work. And you will find that hair tissue testing is actually extensively talked about, particularly selenium, iron, copper, and zinc when it comes to lower levels associated with cancer and many other problems. It is well documented that a high copper personality, so if your tissue testing on your hair is high for copper, you're likely going to be exhibiting anxiety and depression and all kinds of problems that look to be associated with bipolar, like mania. You're going to be flipping up here. So I hear all these people when I go on their live streams, and these beautiful people that just haven't been exposed to the truth, talking about how they're managing their bipolar with medication and counseling, and they're doing all these things the right way. Listen, man, this is a money-making mission, okay? I'm telling you right now, your hair test will only cost you $135 with me. You do it all through the mail. You can't do it. You can't send it to me if you're in the state of New York, because New York doesn't allow on-demand blood testing, hair testing, or anything else to be done through the mail. It's a sales tax issue. So you can give me an address from somewhere else, but it can't be from New York, okay? But you can go to naturallywithkaren.com and click on the hair testing. Click on the one you want to buy is the profile number 2. Number 2. It's number 2, okay? Not the number 1. The number 1 only gives you like a page or two for $91, but the number 2 gives you 10 to 12 rich pages. Your metabolic type, all your health trends, your toxic elements. I have a young man by the name of Zach. He's guaranteed me that he's going to come on and do a testimonial. So has Anthony. And I got Zach's hair test back, and whoa, you are going to be absolutely amazed when he tells you his story, especially about how I put my hands on his head and I felt a brain mass over 3 years ago. I finally got Zach to do a hair test, and I got his hair test back yesterday. And I'm going to let him be the one to announce his results, but I have never in my life seen a hair test like this. And I think it's going to really help Zach. It may even save his life, and it may save your life. So we start with anxiety, we end up in depression with toxic brain, all the toxicity, and the thyroid stops working, and now you don't make ATP, which is your energy. You don't have energy. And all these young women that I'm out in the streets with, out in the trenches with, I will be again today, 18-year-old Naya, and lots of folks that she knows and her friends, and all in Canal Park and all over for a few hours. And you know what? The up and down moods and the anxiety and the depression and just the flippy behaviors that you can't control, that I had at one time, and panic attacks and anxiety attacks, all the way to agoraphobia. Kim, you know about that. had to do with at one time your thyroid slowed down, mom didn't have enough juice, you didn't have enough juice, now you kept eating all the wrong stuff. Listen, man, I'm breaking down the truth. I'm telling you the truth, and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. I have another lady named Gabby. If you go to my Facebook page, Naturally with Karen, look at her pictures before and after in 1 month. June the 8th, our third half-hour session was July the 9th, just this week. I gave her a 6-pack for $500, so she pays $83 a session. Under $500, look at what she did in 1 month. No major radical diet shifts. I gave her 5 or 6 things to do that was easy for her to do. She was motivated to do them. The difference with her and other clients, she actually did what I asked her to do. Take a look at the before and after in 1 month, under $500, or you don't have $500. You can't afford to do the hair test. Get the book. Download the book. If I'm not the real deal, come back to my Facebook page and tell me, or write me a comment here. Say something, okay? Anyway, addiction. When a person is unable to feel good for sustained periods of time, their self-esteem plummets. Where they used to be able to hold their head up and feel fairly good until age 10 and 11, puberty comes in and the hormones try to start doing what hormones are supposed to do. It's called the period of what? Adolescence, okay? Your hormones have to do an extremely big job during that time, and they have to fund you into the development of becoming an adult. Adult sexual organs, adult internal glands, the structure of your brain starts to change. And what else? If all you have is a high zinc level and not enough copper, and that ratio is not balanced, you're going to start to become extremely analytical, way over on the left. Your creativity is going to a total backslide. You're not going to want to surf. I come from Santa Cruz, so you're not going to want to surf. You're not going to want to skimboard. You're not going to want to go to the reggae and the ska shows. You're not going to want to go to with me to Zimbabwe trance music and go see, the marimbas and everything playing like I used to do. And then we'd lay on the floor and chill out. We go to Kali Ray yoga and we go to African dance with Mbayero, and I go take African drumming on top of a beautiful hill with redwoods at UC Santa Cruz where I went to school. I'm real. I'm no bullshit. I don't have Lumineers on my teeth. I don't work in a fancy medical institution. I didn't go to school under one umbrella with the American Medical Association. I don't just dispense drugs. I'm not a pill dealer. I'm also not a gimmick or a charlatan. I have the real deal, and I need you to help me. People are self-medicating, and they're addicted, and they're hooked onto a powerful opioid today that has been put out there, and it's now being put in your cannabis. So if you light up a blunt and it smells like popcorn, you need to put that blunt in the garbage. And don't even let anybody get a hold of it, not even your dog or anyone else, because they're lacing stuff with fentanyl. It's called Fenty on the street, and for some people, it'll make you 1% of the people, it'll make you extremely hyper. It's extremely addicting, and it can kill you in an instant. If you've never been exposed to fentanyl, just touching it with your finger can actually really cause you harm or potentially kill you. You don't want to sniff it. You don't want it to fall out of a wrapper and then you breathe it. You don't have to get paranoid, because I've actually handled it many times. The police know I've handled it. I've worked with the opioid tech in Duluth, Jessica McCarthy. I've worked with the folks at CADT, the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment in Duluth at 1402 Superior Street. I've worked with Ideal Options. I've worked with ClearPath. I've worked with Pathfinders. I've taken Matthew Finch's course on the Ultimate Opiate Detox 2.0. I'm not an idiot when it comes to what we need to do for our people. I care, and I've invested for 35 straight years learning word sound and medicine and mind-body medicine. I've got a crucial keys to unlocking disease course on my website that anyone that's doing health work with people, whether you're a CD, chemical dependency person, you need that course, because no, you can't just do cannabis and cure cancer. No, you can't just go alkaline and cure cancer. You have to get to the root, which is typically with cancer, it's resentment and betrayal. Betrayal and resentment. With thyroid issues, it's humiliation. It's being choked out of life, outpriced. Think about me having to leave Santa Cruz, the place I love so much, living on Cliff and King Street in Santa Cruz and just loving my home, having my Santa Cruz sticker, my Santa Cruz sweatshirts, and always knowing all the skateboarders and taking my son to the skateboard parks. I mean, that's my home. And we're priced out. So imagine how all these other people feel that they had their home. Imagine how Mexico feels. California is your home. It's not mine. It's Mexico's home. Okay? So whether you agree with me or not, I haven't watched the TV for 35 years besides an occasional at a hotel when I stay there and I'll just, whoa, I can't believe that's what's going on today. Like, I can't believe it's full of like weird sexual stuff and drug ads and, pimping out drugs that doctors probably get a ton of money for. I don't know. But I have focused my life on studying and reading hundreds of books. People are self-medicating because their self-esteem is in the tank because they feel so damn bad. People are using heroin because they want to bring the hero within. Heroin, the hero within. I came up with this. Methamphetamines, meth is to me the amp. We want to amp ourselves because of learning word sound power in the 1970s from the Rastafari elders that at that time were in their 70s in California, drinking Irish moss with Judah. That's why I've got my mosh right here on my watermelon, okay? And I quit drinking it just before I moved to Minnesota until just several years ago. And it cost me, that's probably how I ended up with that ovarian cancer diagnosis when my son was police abused on May the 18th of 2018. So yes, we have trauma, we have low self-esteem, we have low energy, we feel so bad, we feel so depressed, we feel so anxious. So what's the next logical step? In a world that tells people we've got a drug for you, you go out and you find the drug that's the fit, or you accidentally fall into it in the classic story of the opioid crisis today, which is what? I had an accident. I was giving pain medication. Don't even call it pain medication. Pain drugs. I became addicted to the feeling that the drugs gave me, which is numbing, escaping, and soothing, right? Soothing. Mama. Soothing. So to replace mama, we have drugs like the opioids, which go straight to the limbic system, right in the brain. The limbic system is 4 or 5 parts, depending on how you subscribe. It's also your amygdala. And it's a lock and key fit. And so addiction becomes almost impossible to break unless you're someone that's relatively new, starting on the pain medications, or you've got a hell of a lot of support around you. But if you've got toxic heavy metals in your system, you become very left brain. You're not willing to take these things and you'll get better. You need to go on a detox protocol. Because the detox centers that we do have detox you from the drug and they teach you coping mechanisms, but they're not the kind of detox center that I would be setting up. And the kind of detox center I would be setting up would heal the whole person. See, it's just like when a person comes in and asks me to massage their back because they've got a sore back. In the beginning, I would say, no, I don't do that. Because I'm kind of stubborn. I'm kind of Rastafari for about 30 years. And I would say, no, I don't do that. But I will give you a whole body massage and I'll focus on that area and I'll show you that through releasing your reflex points in your feet, the reflex points in your palms of your hand, soothing your head and soothing your cranium and all the nerve endings in your scalp, I guarantee you that your pain will be gone most of the time. And they go, oh my God, absolutely, you're right. And you just do it from now on. Okay. So I wanted to give this for a while, and things have been going on in my life. My life is not perfect. Your life is not perfect, but I get up, I give thanks. I'm moving the energy in my house. There's been a lot of change, and I'm caregiving for someone who's addicted on opiates. I am doing massages a couple times a week, and I do my coaching work with people through the screen and in person. I would strongly recommend, if you're a mom listening to this, that you order hair tests for yourself and for your children. If you say, hey, I've got 5 or 6 people in my family, hit me up on a message, a private message, or text me, okay? Go to my website or go to the Facebook page. My number's right on there. Just don't abuse it because I'm not a kind person. If you abuse it, it's not very kind to just, blow up people's phone. So ask me. Email me at naturallywithkaren@gmail. Naturallywithkaren@gmail. Email me and say, I've got 5 or 6 people in my family. Can you make me a package deal? Sure. Then you can pay for a package deal for your whole family to get hair tested. And you can just pay me through my PayPal account at paypal.me/shaman, SHAMAN. Get the hair test. Let's get a look at it and let's see what we're dealing with. If it's like the one that I just got back yesterday, there were 2 out of 12 toxic elements that were all the way to the top. And there was 3 others that were elevated. And for me, that's an ASAP emergency situation. So instead of saying we've got ODD, we've got ADHD, we got this, we got that, and taking 5 or 10 or 20 different medications, I'm not telling you to stop them. Because I have a client that did that just the other day. They went home and they went, oh, we're not doing these anymore. And I said, no. We can't stop those. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes you can cause more harm. And I started to see the eye started to swell up on the person. They showed me a picture. They sent me the picture. So I'm answering a lot of texts and messages during the day. And sometimes I can't afford to do them all for you and also give up my own life. So please respect that I do charge for the gift of my time. It's important. I've got 35 years and I did it largely for free for over 20. So I just can't afford to do it for free anymore. Anyway, that's what's going on. So low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, a toxic body, toxic elements, metabolism is too slow. After it's been too slow for a while, don't let these doctors, get you all amped up on stuff. Your thyroid goes slow. After it's been slow for a long time, it speeds up in an attempt to say, you better help me now, or I'm going to do something severe. And usually that's going into tachycardia, so the heart starts racing off and on. You can't go to sleep at night. You lay down, and no matter what you do, you can't go to sleep. And they call me. Clients call me, and they say, we're doing Diet Coke with vodka, we're doing Tylenol PM, we're doing Ambien, we're doing everything, and I can't go to sleep, my God. And I go, you're right. It's going to be a little journey. The tip of the tongue is hot, which indicates heart heat, if you know anything about traditional Chinese medicine. So I'm going to give you, in our coaching sessions, something that I guarantee you won't get anywhere else. Anywhere else. What I put together, you will know it's the truth for you, and you will know it works. So go to my Facebook page, Naturally with Karen. Go like it. Please subscribe to YouTube if you're just watching me for the first time. Please subscribe, because once we get 1,000, I don't have to sit inside the house here. I can actually go outside and live stream and show you cool, interesting places, like where I was yesterday, standing out at the tip of the lighthouse out there in Canal Park. All right. Thank you for joining me, Kim. I love you, and I'm always so thankful for your support. And I'm going to go unload my car full. I don't even have room for Luna, unless maybe I can move some of it. And go meet Zawa and Devin and Naya in Canal Park and get these clothes dropped off so that people can have them. The youth need our help. The hair testing is only $135, all done through the mail. You get an email patient report that will come within 2 weeks after I get your hair sample and get it mailed off to the labs in Texas. Okay? Can't do it if you give me an address in the state of New York, but you can give me a different address. And it's phenomenal. So 2 more testimonials will be coming from Zach and Anthony. And I hope eventually Devin will get one. I've got one from Zawa. I'm hoping Zawa will eventually do one. We need testimonials on hair testing so that people can see. So I have a bunch that are coming up. Give thanks, and you have a wonderful day. Be sure and share this.